Okay, so today we're doing a deep dive into the transcript from JustTrae's music video 9 to 5.
Yeah, and our goal really is to pull out the core feelings from this source. Get into the reality of that daily grind he describes.
And the dreams, the bigger ambitions that clash with it, it's all about that struggle.
Exactly. And what hits you straight off is just how intense the imagery is. It's a very direct look at struggle.
No pulling punches. It dives right into the hard work, the determination, and, well, the challenges.
Especially when what you want is so much bigger than what a normal workday gives you time for.
Yeah, it's that fundamental mismatch. It's all about the effort, the drive, the obstacles, and maybe what keeps someone going through all that.
Absolutely. And it starts by painting that picture, that baseline reality.
Like that opening line, right? A country boy that struggles 9 to 5 like me. Instantly relatable for a lot of people.
It sets up that shared experience, yeah. This is the norm. But then, almost immediately, he hits you with the need for more.
You mean they overtime?
Uh-huh. Meeting over time. Because, and this is the key part, 24 ain't enough to go and chase any dream.
Wow, yeah. That really lays out the central tension, doesn't it? The job demands versus the sheer scale of the dream.
24 hours just isn't enough when you're trying to build something huge and survive.
It's like the day job eats the dream time. And he seems to accept difficulty as just part of it.
Well, there's that line later. What's a road without a bump? What's a hill without a peak?
Right, so it's not a bug, it's a feature.
Kind of, yeah. It feels less like a complaint, more like saying, look, this is how progress works. You climb hills. It's inherent.
Which makes that idea of the unseen effort even more powerful.
You mean the working hard when no one is looking?
Exactly. That line really strips away any kind of, performance aspect. It's just the grind itself.
It's the solitary work, isn't it?
Yeah.
Done purely for the goal, no audience needed.
And he connects that lonely work directly to taking chances, which is interesting.
Yeah. How does he frame that?
Well, the imagery is really specific. He says, I'll take that chance any day, like my Chevy's booking 90 and a 55 on the back row, no cops are looking.
Okay, so it's not just any risk. It's urgent. It's pushing limits, maybe bending rules, because time is so short.
Like the unseen effort creates this pressure cooker, and you have to take the gamble, the shortcut, to make it mean something.
Precisely. You're pouring everything in behind the scenes, so you feel you have to make these risky moves to bridge that gap to actually getting somewhere.
High stakes, definitely. Running against the clock. But even then, there's that pullback to reality.
A need to make it home in time.
Yeah, so the dream chase, the risks, they still happen within these, non-negotiable boundaries of everyday life.
And that constant push, that relentless effort, it clearly takes a toll. He doesn't shy away from that.
No, it gets really physical. Look at the scars that's on my body. I feel deep for hers. Callous hands ain't enough.
So it's not just abstract struggle. It's written on the body. Scars, callous hands.
And connecting it to feeling deep for hers, or saying the hands ain't enough, it adds this layer of responsibility, maybe. Like the physical work alone isn't cutting it.
It sounds like it's more than just exhaustion. It's this weight of responsibility, maybe for family, that the work itself can't fully carry.
And then there are those moments where he hits a wall, but it sounds different, not just physical.
The ceiling crumbling down.
Yeah, every time I feel like I've achieved that ceiling burns crumbling down, it's like you reach what you thought was the top and it just disintegrates.
That's brutal. Not just a setback, but a complete fiery collapse of progress. Talk about demoralizing.
And the ground beneath isn't stable either. He says, never knew how to stand up on top because that bottom is changing.
So how do you even build anything if the foundation keeps shifting under your feet? It sounds incredibly precarious.
Constant instability. And it feels like that connects to a sense of being alone in it, too.
You mean the lines like, looking around, I got to give up on his patience, and that really stark image, taking him out if everyone's out, look at the hole that I painted?
Yeah, the hole that I painted. What do you think that means? Did he push people away with his focus?
Or maybe it feels like everyone else left, Everyone's out having a life, maybe, and he's stuck in this situation he feels he created for himself. Either way, it's a powerful picture of isolation.
It definitely suggests the path requires, or at least feels like it requires, a certain separation.
Which brings us to how he actually describes the effort and all the uncertainty that comes with it.
He calls the person doing this a different type of man no matter what he's facing. Frames it as this intense, deliberate pushback.
Hard effort with making change to affect the grind. So it's not just working hard, It's trying to fundamentally alter the grind itself.
But right after claiming that strength, that difference, comes the vulnerability.
The big question. Maybe I make it big, or baby, I'm just wasting time.
Right there. All the effort, the drive, and still, that core doubt. Is any of this worth it?
That's the gamble, isn't it?
Right.
It could be everything, could be absolutely nothing.
And his answer to that isn't certainty, it's pride.
Yeah, but that's a chance. You got to take it with the pride. Accept the gamble. Do it with dignity, win or lose.
Which is quite a stance. And he has that analogy about things taking time, too. Even when you're rushing.
Oh, the planes. Even planes that's in the sky still have to wait to fly.
Yeah. Like, even things built for speed have delays, holding patterns. So maybe acknowledging patience is needed, even amidst the urgency.
That's a tough balance to strike, though. Urgency and patience. Especially when you're pushing through pain.
He talks about that internal battle quite a bit. Phrases like, I'm just overworking my weight to rise. Like, the effort itself is a heavy weight.
And believing still way in time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just keeping the faith over the long haul is exhausting, heavy work in itself.
And fighting the temptation to just quit the extra stuff.
Blocking out what temptation to pull away at 9. The lure of the normal 9 to 5 ending, giving up the grind.
It seems tied up with fear, too. Letting go with all my pain, but sometimes I'm afraid to fly.
That's interesting. Letting go of pain should be freeing, but maybe the fear is about what comes next, the unknown of actually succeeding.
Could be. And that line, trigger warning, I pull the weight for a shoulder grind. It links emotional weight directly to the physical labor.
Like the mental burden manifests physically in the work he's doing. It's all connected.
But through all that, the constant is the work ethic.
Definitely. Never give it in to what I've been loving, hard on the grind, hard on the stone. I'm a working man before sun has rised. Resilience, consistency, started before dawn.
But building your own thing, that seems uniquely difficult for him. Building collapsing, because it ain't easy. Building what is mine.
Why do you think building what is mine is so prone to collapse?
Maybe because there's no map. Or you're building on that shaky ground he mentioned. Or maybe yours is just so different it doesn't fit easily.
Yeah, building something truly personal, uniquely yours, it's bound to be harder than following a set path. It's uncharted territory.
And it seems like the drive itself becomes a way to handle it all.
He says that explicitly, right? Never losing focus. This drive is how I cope with.
So the drive isn't just for the goal. It's a coping mechanism for the stress and the pain of getting there.
It's survival. And the stakes feel absolute. To make it with no option, I'm the one that's got to close it.
No safety net. It's all on him.
And that pressure, that lack of options, fuels the push for bigger opportunities and leads to big emotion. This isn't some cold, calculated process.
No, it's deeply emotional. I show emotion with how I work. The work is the expression of all that intensity.
Which loops back beautifully to the beginning, doesn't it? Working hard when no one's looking.
But hoping they eventually will. Hopes that someone noticed. That seems crucial.
Yeah, after all the solitary effort, that desire for the work, the sacrifice, to be seen and maybe understood, not necessarily fame, but just recognition.
It connects the isolation to a hope for eventual connection, maybe through the work itself.
And the final word, after all that struggle and uncertainty.
It's just keep going. Just keep hustling. I promise you'll get wherever you want to go. Just keep that head down and keep on grinding, eh?
Remarkably simple, really.
Yeah.
After detailing all the complexity and pain, the instruction is persist. Head down, keep grinding, trust the process.
So thinking about everything in this source, the scars, the collapsing ceilings, the isolation, the drive, that hope for notice, it leaves you with a question, doesn't it?
What's that?
Well, he paints such a vivid picture of the pain involved in building what is mine, often when no one is looking, but driven partly by hoping someone noticed or to make it big. So where does the real value lie, according to this source? Is it in the relentless process, the grind, the hustle itself, regardless of the outcome? Or is that whole painful journey just the necessary price for getting that external win, that recognition, that public success? You know, how much is the struggle worth in itself versus what it might get you?